fabric is allowed. For 2 full years you were no color, no lace, no shimmer. Just matte light. Welcome to Victorian society, where eyes were always watching. Now relax. Let the modern world
अब आप अपने दोबारा ये स्टूडियो के अंदर आ जाएं। यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं, इसको मैं रिफ्रेश करता हूँ। जैसे मैं रिफ्रेश करता हूँ एंड ये जो मेरी लाइव स्ट्रीम हो चुकी है शुरू।
The ticking of a carriage wheel, the faint echo of horse hooves down a narrow road. You are no longer here. You are now living in Victorian England, and you are not just anyone. You are a lady.
Carriage wheel,
Not in the
the
way
faint
stories
echo
or
of
movies
horse
show
hooves
us.
down a narrow
This is
road.
not a tale of
You are no
brawling
longer
or
here.
flattery.
You are now living in Victorian England, and you are not just anyone.
Relentless
You are a
observation.
late carriage wheel, the faint echo of horse hooves down a narrow road. You are no longer here. You are now living in Victorian England, and you are not just anyone. You are a late.
Eyes open not to sunlight.
Faint echo of horse hooves down a narrow road. You are no longer here. You are now living in Victorian England, and you are not
The
just.
flicker of coal light warms the corner of your bedroom. You lie still under heavy quilts, conscious of your posture even now. You cannot stretch or groan. Such movements are undignified. A lady rises with grace, not with yawns. When you finally sit up, your hair is loose down your back, but it won't stay that way for long. In a few moments, another set of hands, practiced and efficient, will brush it 100 strokes. Why 100? Because tradition says so. Because neatness is a virtue.
आपके सामने लाइव यहाँ पर स्क्रीन आ जाती है। जैसे ही मेरी लाइव स्क्रीन आती है मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ। लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग हो रही है क्रिकेट मैचेस की एंड हियर आर द रिजल्ट। 150 स्कोर हो चुके हैं। इसको मैं जूम करके भी दिखा देता हूँ। यहाँ पे देखिए, इसको बढ़ा देता हूँ। 150 स्कोर हो चुके हैं, 5 ओवर हो चुके हैं। लाइव जा रहे हैं। लाइव जाने के बाद इसको मैं देखिए 151 स्कोर हो गए हैं। अभी देखिए मैं आपको ये भी दिखा देता हूँ। 151 स्कोर वेबसाइट के ऊपर भी है, इधर भी 151 स्कोर और 5 ओवर है। आप देख रहे हैं लाइव स्ट्रीम शुरू हो चुकी है। अब देखें ये वाली सारी स्क्रीन आपने आपकी तरफ बता देनी है। हर यूट्यूब हर व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप के अंदर किस तरह बनानी है आपने यहाँ पे देखिए शेयर के बटन पे जाना है। शेयर के बटन के ऊपर जाने के बाद आपने क्लिक करना है। आपने सारे यहाँ पे देखिए फेसबुक लिंक्डइन।
You breathe shallowly and remain silent. The corset shapes your waist. Not for beauty, not entirely, but for control. A disciplined body suggests a disciplined mind. Next, layers of petticoats. Then a crinoline. Then your gown. It may be of silk if you're lucky, or starched cotton. Its sleeves and collar are high. Its hem brushes your boots. Your boots are polished. Your gloves are folded. Your bonnet waits. But before you step out of your room, you pause to check your appearance. Not in a mirror, but in your stillness. Is your back straight? Are your shoulders lowered? Is your expression composed? These things matter more than you know. Breakfast, the quietest meal. Downstairs, the breakfast table is neatly arranged. Toast, jam, eggs, tea. Everything is silent, from the clinking of porcelain to the rustle of newspapers. There is no loud conversation. Women do not speak unless directly addressed. You sit upright in your chair. You fold your hands when not eating. You take small bites, chew quietly, and never butter more than one piece of bread at a time. The silence is not uncomfortable. It is expected. It is how proper families begin their day. You listen, not to join, but to understand. Perhaps your father is discussing stocks. Perhaps your brother is sighing over parliamentary debates. You smile politely but say nothing. Politics are not your place. Letters, politeness on paper. After breakfast, you return to your private sitting room. There, a stack of letters awaits you. Correspondence is your lifeline to the social world. And yet, even in writing, rules abound. You open each letter with a knife. You read it slowly, carefully. If someone has invited you to tea, you must respond within 2 days. No more, no less. If a woman writes to compliment your dress at church, you must compliment her hat in return. If someone expresses sorrow for your sister's cold, you must thank them without revealing any new detail. Illness is private. Even minor ailments must be cloaked in polite vagueness. You pick up your fountain pen and begin to write. Your handwriting is even, slanted, feminine, not too bold, not too faint. A blot of ink could signal carelessness. A heavy loop may seem too assertive. Words like lovely, gracious, and delighted flow freely. Feelings, however, do not. sewing in stillness. The clock ticks slowly. Your needlework rests in your lap. You embroider not just to pass the time, but to shape your character. Sewing teaches patience, precision, and quiet diligence, all desirable traits in a woman. Each stitch is a lesson. Each pattern a symbol of your station. A guest enters, another lady perhaps. You both smile, comment on the weather, and exchange practiced compliments. There is no laughter, no debate, just small words on small things. To speak boldly is to invite trouble. To be too quiet is to seem dull. The balance must always be perfect. Afternoon, calling hours. Between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m., it is time for social visits. You do not drop by unannounced. No, you leave a calling card first. If your card is returned with a folded corner, it means the lady visited while you were out. If it is left unopened, it means she does not wish to receive you. The card is not just paper. It is status. You dress for the visit, not in your best, but in something respectable. Gloves, bonnet, boots, all coordinated, never flashy. When you enter a home, you do not sit unless invited. You do not remove your gloves unless the hostess does first. You speak lightly, laugh softly, and leave precisely after 15 minutes. Any longer and you seem presumptuous. Any shorter and you seem uninterested. You walk home slowly. You carry yourself like a cloud. Light, quiet, untouchable. Conversation, a dangerous dance. Dinner approaches. A few guests may be arriving. An uncle, a distant cousin, perhaps a neighboring clergyman. The meal is formal. There are 6 forks, 3 spoons, 2 knives. You know the order. You were trained in it since childhood. You wait to sit until the hostess does. You unfold your napkin discreetly and place it on your lap. You sip water only when no one is speaking. The conversation begins. The men speak of railways. The older women mention a royal birth. Someone says the weather has turned. You smile and agree. You do not mention your headaches, or your sadness, or the novel you read in secret last week, the one with the woman who ran away. No, that is not who you are. Not here. Not tonight. You are calm, composed. You belong. Evening, reflection and silence. The guests have gone. The house is dim. Candles flicker. You sit by your window wrapped in a shawl. You do not write a diary. Diaries are private. Privacy is dangerous. But you remember. You remember how your feet ached in those boots. How your corset made your ribs press inwards. How you smiled too long. How you said too little. And how no one noticed. Or maybe they did. Tomorrow it will begin again. The waking, the dressing, the writing, the nodding, the sewing, the sitting, the silence. It is a life of detail, of discipline, of performance. The house of mourning, grief as a public duty. In the Victorian world, even grief has rules. If someone in your family dies, say a husband, a father, or a sibling, mourning is not just private sorrow. It is a public performance. A highly structured ritual with strict rules and harsher judgment. If you are a widow, your life changes completely. Black. Everything is black. Black dress, black veil, black gloves, black ribbons, black embroidery. Not even shiny fabric is allowed. For 2 full years you wear no color, no lace, no shimmer. Just matte, lifeless crepe. A fabric so dull, it absorbs light and attention alike. The crepe itches your skin. It sheds fibers that cling to everything. But you wear it anyway. Not because you want to, but because you must. If you cry too much, they'll say you're putting on a show. If you don't cry at all, they'll say you never loved him. There is no correct amount of grief, only a correct appearance of it. Even mourning has etiquette. Stages of mourning, a calendar of sadness. The mourning period is divided into 3 parts. Deep mourning, 12 months. You do not attend social functions. No theater, no visiting, no dancing. You avoid music. You avoid conversation unless absolutely necessary. You write only in black-edged stationery. Your voice stays quiet. Your opinions stay quieter. Second morning, 3 to 6 months. You may replace crepe with bombazine, still black but softer. You may reintroduce modest jewelry, a locket with your loved one's hair inside, or a brooch carved from jet. You may go on walks again, but only during the day. Evening outings are still inappropriate. Half morning, 3 to 6 months. Finally, you can begin to wear muted colors. Lavender, gray, mauve. You may attend small teas or modest dinners, but never dances. You are still marked by loss, but your return to society begins slowly. Mourning as identity. If you are a woman and you wear the wrong color too soon, it is not just a fashion mistake. It is a moral offense. People will whisper, "She moved on too fast. She must not have cared. She's trying to catch a new husband." If you mourn too long, they will say, "She's wallowing. She likes the attention. She's trying to be dramatic." So you learn to manage sorrow the same way you manage your smile, your corset, your posture. You mourn in silence, in order, in rhythm with the calendar. Even grief is a performance. Even tears have a dress code. The rules of romance, love without touch. You are a young woman now, no longer a child, not yet a wife. Romance is real, but it is invisible. There are no dates, no walks alone, no unsupervised conversations. Everything, every feeling, must be filtered through etiquette and chaperones. You may meet a gentleman at a ball. You may bow. You may curtsy. You might dance, but only once or twice. Too many dances with the same man, and society will start whispering. They always whisper. He may call at your house, but only with a card, only with approval, only in the company of others. You may exchange letters, but only after an understanding has been made, and your father may read them first. Romance is not passion. It is negotiation in ribbons and silence. Flirting without words. Do you want to flirt? You don't say it. You drop your handkerchief. He picks it up. You say, "Thank you," and allow your gloved fingers to touch his, just barely. Do you like someone? You don't tell him. You use your fan. If you open your fan wide and cover your face, you're being playful. If you snap it shut quickly, you are annoyed. If you let it dangle slowly from one hand, it means you're interested, very interested. A dropped glove is not a mistake. A twirled parasol is not boredom. Everything means something, but you never say what it means. That would be improper. The proposal, a silent earthquake. If a man proposes to you, he doesn't do it on one knee. Not always. He asks your father first. Then, if approved, he visits you. He may bring flower, may bring a ring. He may say kind, polite, rehearsed words. You are expected to say yes, not too quickly but not with hesitation either. Too eager is desperate. Too cautious is ungrateful. You smile. You lower your eyes. You murmur something delicate like, "I would be honored." You are now engaged, but you still do not spend time alone. Not until marriage. Never until marriage. Courtship constraints, a long wait. Your engagement may last months, sometimes a year. During this time, you are constantly judged. Are you too affectionate in public? Too cold in private? Are you pressuring him? Are you avoiding him? You must be visible but modest, grateful but not giddy, pleased but never proud. This is the time when your in-laws study you, when the neighbors watch closely, when your mother reminds you gently but firmly that your behavior now will shape your reputation forever. Every dress, every thank you note, every visit you make together, all part of the test. Wedding night, the unspoken shift. Your wedding is a carefully arranged ceremony. You wear white, not to symbolize purity, but because Queen Victoria made it fashionable. You walk slowly down the aisle, arm in arm with your father. You do not look around. You do not smile too widely. You do not cry. You speak your vows in a voice soft enough to be feminine, loud enough to be heard. You sign your name in the parish book. And then, everything changes. For the first time in your life, you will be alone with a man. No one prepares you. No one explains. The world expects you to know how to behave, how to act, how to please, how to serve, all without instruction. And yet you do. Or at least you pretend to. Pretending is what you've been doing all your life. Life as a wife. Endless duty. You now belong to someone. Legally. Socially. Entirely. Your name changes. Your opinions do not matter unless they mirror his. You manage a household. Servants, menus, guests, accounts. You learn how to make 12 kinds of tea sandwiches, how to order flowers for every season, how to host a dinner without a single crumb out of place. You wake before him. You sleep after him. You bear children. You write letters of thanks. You remember anniversaries. You smile at his jokes. You silence your worries. And if he is cruel, if he forgets you, embarrasses you, avoids you, you do not speak of it. Not to friends. Not to family. You are a Victorian wife. You endure. You smile. You keep secrets. Closing thoughts. The life behind the lace. So much of your life is quiet suffering wrapped in soft fabric. So much of it is invisible pressure behind heavy doors. But sometimes, when you walk alone in the garden, when your fingers rest on the keys of the piano, when you look into a mirror and see your own eyes instead of someone else's daughter, wife, or mother, you wonder, am I really? You will never say it out loud, but you will always wonder. And that, too, is Victorian. Children, seen not heard. The nursery smells of chalk, soap, and something vaguely metallic, the scent of iron toys and dried ink. It is the children's world, but even here, silence rules. As a Victorian lady, your children are yours, but not entirely. You do not raise them. That is the nanny's role, hired, experienced, soft-voiced but firm. She teaches them the alphabet, religious verses, posture, and cleanliness. She scolds gently but persistently. If the child cries, she comforts them. If they laugh too loudly, she quiets them. Emotion must always be regulated. You visit the nursery for 15 minutes each day, perhaps a bit longer if you're sentimental, but never enough to interfere with the routine. A good mother does not spoil. A good mother loves at a distance. You kiss your child on the forehead, smooth their hair, and nod approvingly at their drawing of Queen Victoria. Then you return downstairs to the parlor, to a life of embroidery and hosting. Even motherhood is muted. Education, the curated mind. If you are raising a daughter, you want her to be accomplished, not educated. She must read, but not too widely. Novels are acceptable if they are moral, but not if they are adventurous. Scientific texts are inappropriate. Philosophy is suspicious. Mathematics, unnecessary. Instead, she is taught piano for parlor performance, embroidery for patience, French for charm, watercolor for gentility, dancing for marriage. She learns history, but only the gentle parts. Monarchs, inventions, Shakespeare's comedies. She learns manners above all else. How to serve tea, how to smile without showing teeth, how to express gratitude in a single glance. Her world is small but beautiful. A gilded cage. An elaborate drawing room that she may never leave. Sons and legacy. If your child is a son, things are different. He will attend a real school. He will study Latin, mathematics, debate, history, and the sciences. He may go to Eton or Harrow if the family is wealthy, or a grammar school if merely respectable. His clothes change when he turns 10, no more sailor suits. Now he wears stiff collars, polished shoes, and a serious expression. His hair is slicked back. His shoes are always tied. He is told to be brave but not loud, intelligent but not boastful, independent but respectful. He is trained to become a gentleman and perhaps, someday, a patriarch. You love him fiercely, but you will not say it aloud. Too much affection weakens the boy, so you say it with a button sewn tightly. A biscuit left near his books. A hand on his shoulder when no one is watching. That is enough. Domestic quiet, running the household. Though you are not expected to cook or clean, you are the manager of the home. Your staff awaits your approval on nearly everything. Breakfast must be prompt. Chamber pots must be emptied before sunlight touches the floor. Lace must be starched and lamps must be filled before twilight. Menus are planned days in advance. Supplies are ordered through handwritten lists, and deliveries are inspected for bruised apples or wilted parsley. You know the names of every servant: the butler, the housemaid, the scullery girl, the cook, the governess. You never raise your voice. That would be vulgar. But your expectations are clear. A dusty stare or an undercooked scone reflects badly, not on the maid but on you. A Victorian lady commands without anger, corrects without accusation,